This is the most difficult border in Europe. Miles and miles of reinforced fencing. On one side, hundreds of Macedonian police. On the other, hundreds of refugees and migrants peering through, wondering when it's their chance to get through. And it doesn't come very often. Yesterday, not a single person could get through. Today, 170 managed to get through in the early hours of this morning. Briefly, the gates were open. But if I show you around this camp, this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the number of people here. Thousands. 2 days ago, aid agencies say there were 6,000 people. Since then, more coming from Greece, and the fact that it's become more difficult for people to get here means there are at least 9, perhaps 10,000 people. And they sleep, as you can see, where they can. These tents given by charities. Flimsy, two-man, colourful tents. One aid worker described it to me as a pretty miserable summer festival. People desperately trying to leave. This, over the other side, if you show the camera this way, this is the official tent, the UNHCR tent, and as you can see, the priority given to families and children. This is the heart of the camp, and that's because this is where most people are waiting for their food. And just take a look at this. This has become really the biggest thing people are waiting for every day. 2 or 3 hours they spend in this queue waiting for, well, today it's a single egg and cheese sandwich, and tempers are easily flaring anyway because of the frustrations that they can't get across the border. But charity workers also say because of the amount of people pushing in, they're often caused to intervene. Sometimes the police are involved too, and the line stretches a mile, 2 miles long. I think it's here that you really get to see the size of the camp. On the other side, there are men waiting to register, to get a stamp, to get through, to even start the process to go through to Macedonia. These men by these police buses here have been told that they've got the wrong registration papers, they've been given the wrong date, so they've got to go all the way back to Thessaloniki. There was a protest here this morning that adds to the frustrations. And just behind me, the first aid tents, 2,000 people being treated today for minor illnesses, sickness, diarrhoea, because of the situation, the typical conditions on this whole site. And these are the newcomers making their thoughts clear. They've only been here for a couple of days, but let's face it, all of these tents in these farmers' fields that have just arrived, they will have to wait the longest. And they're still coming.